Hello family, I just want to come back to you with a quick video before I do my morning workout. So just have a little story time on how I lost 35 pounds. And it was in a pretty quick time frame. I, as of last fall, was 180 pounds, and so that's the heaviest that I've ever been. And so I kind of thought to myself, like, if I'm not gonna change what I'm doing now with my regimen and the things that I'm eating, when will I? So I just made a conscious choice. It wasn't a health scare going on or anything. It's just naturally I knew that that wasn't the weight that I should be, and so I made a choice to do something different. So even though I have my exercise gear on, so not really any makeup, my hair, my locks pulled up in a bun, and I'm getting ready to work it out. Honestly, the exercise is not what caused the majority of the weight loss. It was actually my diet. So you've heard me on some of my videos talk about my vegan diet and changing to that in the last 5 months or so. And so that is a large proponent of the weight loss. So within that, just transitioning away from the meat-based, animal-based foods and moving into a vegan plant-based diet. So it was a transition. So over the last 5 months, I segued from eating a couple portions of meat throughout the week to not having any meat at all. And then I also lessened the amount of glutinous foods in my diet. So again, not for any allergy, celiac disease, or any of that. It was just something that I didn't want to ingest anymore. And then along with knowing more about foods that are acidic to the body, also balancing alkalinity within the body and the health benefits of that, and that being the basis for just having a healthier, balanced body overall. So 5 months, within the last 5 months, I've lost 20 of the 37 pounds. So I'm currently at 143 as I weighed myself this week. And I actually weigh myself every day. They tell you not to do that on your weight loss journey because it can be discouraging, but I did it purposefully because I want to know how my body naturally fluctuates throughout the month. Being a woman, retaining water at certain times and that sort of thing, I just wanted to naturally know daily on a monthly basis how my body naturally fluctuates weight-wise, regardless of the food that I'm ingesting and things of that nature. So one tip I would say is to weigh yourself every day. If you go up in pounds, a couple of pounds, especially at particular times that we know of as women that we do naturally, do not be discouraged because you'll already know your natural patterns of weight gain, weight loss, regardless of what you're eating. So number one, I say at least what worked for me is to weigh myself every day. That way you can keep track of when you really go off a ledge with eating too much or not eating well, or having alcohol. We, drink wine and cocktails and this, that, and the other, and that's a lot of calories and things, and we're putting in our body and dehydrating things, coffees, caffeinated beverages, sodas, all that stuff. So when you are not eating the most beneficial things in your diet. So the second thing is a food diary. Now, early on, when I had different times in the past and went through dieting and just being more conscious of what I was eating, I took a really kind of disciplined approach to documenting the foods. But throughout the day, as you're picking up something, what kind of benefit that's going to give to you energy wise, and then the calories or nutrients, fats, sugars, salts in that particular food. So just being mindful of it. You don't have to necessarily write down everything you're eating, but just be conscious, making conscious choices as you reach, grab, order, cook the foods that you're eating, what you're ingesting. Just be more conscious, more mindful. I think also having a end goal in sight and having realistic expectations for yourself as you go throughout the journey. I think, again, in the past when I was making a conscious effort to eat healthier, leaner, I had, lofty goals for myself. Like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in a month or 10 pounds in a week or something. That's extreme, but you understand the thought process and getting discouraged when you do finally get on the scale and you've only lost 2 pounds, but you want to have lost 10 pounds at that point. So just let your body do what it's going to do. I see a lot of videos on here that said I lost 35 pounds without exercising in 3 weeks or something like that. If you want to push your body and be dramatic like that, then that's your choice. But I think, again, you guys know me. I'm about natural, healthy progressions through life. Enjoy the process, whatever it is, the ups, downs of it. And I'm actually going to show you guys that the weight tracker that I have, there was peaks and valleys to it. It wasn't a, smooth progression to the weight loss. It was, a few weeks of loss and then a bump up because whatever was going on at that point in time, I'd be eating things that weren't so healthy. Even though I was on a vegan diet, you can get into that crazy carb loaded mashed potatoes and starchy food craze that is not healthy either. So just because you're eating vegetables or things that's not meat doesn't mean you're necessarily eating things that are good for you and totally beneficial to you and nutrient rich. So you'll see again on that path to weight loss, it wasn't a smooth downward line there. And so just don't stress yourself. Don't stress yourself out. You're doing good things and making good choices for yourself, then you'll feel good overall. So I just say keep that in perspective as you're going through this. And again, reward yourself, not necessarily with food, but with encouragement and just reinforcing that you have the strength to do what you ultimately want to do. The exercise component is also something that I ingrained into my weight loss journey because there are soft spots on my body, like what I call the chicken wings, the underarm area that wiggles and jiggles. And so the exercise helps with that. So I have strength training, resistance training within what I do cardio wise. And my husband actually designed the exercise regimen that I do. Now, I have to be honest, I don't do it as often as I should. I should do it at least 3-4 times a week. I may do, in the past couple of weeks, I may have done it once a week. I do get some natural exercise to and fro work. I walk about 3 miles a day, actually. I take public transportation, so going to and fro that based on where I work in the city, it's a good amount of walking, which is good, and I don't mind that. So I do get 3 miles of walking in per day. That's 1.5 miles to the job and 1.5 miles back. So the exercise regimen here is to supplement that. So it's some cardio within that, and then weights and strength training. So upper and lower body. I alternate days of upper and lower body. I would say for the cardio, I might do less than 20 minutes because I do HIIT training. So the different intervals and, from walking to sprinting, running, walking, sprinting, running, like back and forth with that. It just depends on how I feel on the treadmill that day. That I vary with that HIIT training. So I don't know, just mixing it in and finding what works for you. But again, don't get discouraged as you go through this. And if you need to fit into a bikini or a wedding dress or something like that, start early and give yourself a little bit more time than saying, I have to, I'm going to go to Cancun in a week. I need to lose 20 pounds, because chances are you're not going to be able to do that. So just be realistic. If you have any questions for me about my journey or things that you're curious about how I did it as I'm going along, I still have about 8 pounds to go, because again, 180, now 143, trying to get down to 135, which is actually the weight that I was in high school, and I'm far removed from high school. I'm in my late 30s now. But I think that was probably the optimal weight for my stature. I'm only 5'3". So, and then within that, I want to be stronger, toned, healthier. So I'm going to hover probably around that 135. I may be plus or minus a couple of pounds there. It's just what's going to be healthy for me. So if I feel as I'm getting past the 140 threshold down that I may be too lean or just don't feel balanced, then I'll make the call there. But that's my ultimate target for now. So you guys do tell me, how your journey is going, if you're on one, if you completed one, and what your thoughts are as you progress through this time. If you like this video, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. I love to see new people on the planet with us, Planet Venus. So do subscribe and share with others so that we can continue to grow our community here. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and be well and peace, family.